You used AI 3 times before breakfast and didn't even notice. If you only read the headlines, you'd think AI is a slow-motion car crash. But while we're arguing about chatbots, the real work is happening in places you're not even looking. Recently, a major report from Wolters Kluwer, a global leader in healthcare information, highlighted how AI is transforming patient care. It noted that 52% of patients now use AI to research health conditions, and clinicians rely on it for tasks like literature summarization, boosting productivity, and supporting patient engagements. Look, this isn't just efficiency, it's a fundamental shift in how we approach human health. And in cancer research, AI is rewriting the playbook. A June 2026 article in Pharmaphorum detailed how AI-driven precision oncology is bridging the gap between molecular insight and real treatment outcomes, enabling physicians to make better decisions about each patient's care. Now think about it. Every patient's tumor can generate thousands of pieces of information, and AI can sort through all of it quickly, helping doctors zero in on the treatments most likely to be effective. That isn't efficiency, that is a fundamental shift in human capability. Then let's look at the grid. We're facing the biggest energy crunch in a generation because of data centers. But the same AI that's consuming the power is now being used to manage it. The World Economic Forum, in a June 2026 report, highlighted how AI factories are becoming precise, controllable assets on the power grid. And they do this through intelligent and flexible energy management. Companies seeing real gains, 26% in software development, 50% in marketing output. They're not running to the press to explain how they did it. They're just winning. And that silence leaves the floor open for the loud, scary narratives to take over. We're literally using the technology to solve the problems the technology created. This is what I call invisible optimism. It doesn't go viral because it isn't scary. Here's one you almost certainly missed. This spring, an open-sourced AI mapped the 3D shapes of over 1 billion proteins, basically the parts list for all of biology. And scientists are already using it to design new antibodies that go after cancer and immune diseases. In the lab, a high share of those designs actually worked. A deepfake gets 10 million views. This barely made the news. That's the pattern. The breakthroughs that could change your life are happening in total silence. Real quick, before we keep going, if you're enjoying our content, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe. I know it's a small thing, but it genuinely helps us out, and we're grateful you're here. And if you know someone who's only ever heard the scary side of AI, please send them this one. Okay, so why the disconnect? Why are the experts so high on this while the rest of us are so low? Most people think AI is a toy. They use ChatGPT to write an email or make a joke. It makes something up and they think, see, I told you this is garbage. It can't even get this right. That's like test driving a race car and judging it by its cup holder. They see the surface level glitches and they miss the structural transformation happening underneath. Then there's the camp that thinks every gain for AI is a loss for humans. If the AI solves a math problem, we must be getting dumber. If AI writes code, we must be losing jobs. They see progress as a zero-sum game. But history shows us that the tools don't replace humans. They leverage humans. The calculator didn't kill math. It allowed us to do physics. Here's the real tea. Optimism isn't about ignoring the risks. It's about recognizing the scale of the opportunity. We're moving from search to agency. For 30 years, the internet was a library. You had to go find the information. Now the internet is becoming a workforce. AI isn't just telling you things, it's doing things. It's designing new medicines, it's balancing power grids, it's drafting legal briefs. That shift in agency is the biggest economic unlock since the steam engine. If you're a business leader, stop looking at AI's use cases and start looking for capability gaps. Where is your team spending 80% of their time on 20% of their value? That's where optimism lives. AI isn't a cost cutter, it's a capacity expander. The most positive thing about AI is that it forces us to be more human. If a machine can do the average version of your job, then your value lies in the exceptional parts. Your empathy, your judgment, your taste. AI is the floor, not the ceiling. It raises the baseline for everyone. I'm positive because for the first time in history, we have a tool that gets smarter every time we use it. We aren't just building software, we're building a partner for human intelligence. The problems we think are unsolvable today, climate change, disease, energy, look very different when you have 1 million digital minds working on them 24/7. One more thing, if you want more analysis like this, subscribe to The Bridge on Substack. That's where I go deeper than I ever can on camera. The full breakdowns, the takes that don't make the final cut, it's free and it lands right in your inbox, and it hands down the best way to stay ahead of where all of this is actually heading. Let's throw on some hats. The AI hat. The technology is moving from generative to functional. It's moving out of the chat box and into the real world. That's where the value is. Okay, the infrastructure hat. We're rebuilding the world's digital foundation. And it's expensive, it's messy, and it's energy intensive. But it's also the only way we solve the resource constraints of the next century. How about the mystic hat? We've spent thousands of years trying to understand the world. Now we've built something that can actually help us see the patterns we missed. This isn't just a new tool, it's a new pair of eyes. The human hat. Being positive about AI isn't a prediction, it's a choice. If you decide it's a threat, you'll act like a victim. But if you decide it's an opportunity, then you're going to act like a pioneer. AI is moving fast. Don't let the fear of the glitch blind you to the miracle it is. Drop a comment below. What's one thing AI has actually made better for you just this week? I'm Pete Sacco, and I'll see you next time.